This is Sunday, October 2nd, 2016, and Hurricane Matthew is still in the Caribbean, starting to move north towards Jamaica. But is being a problem for South Florida. Now it's pushed back to maybe Friday. So there's a long time to go. And there's probably only a 15% chance that South Florida will get tropical storm winds. Tropical storm winds is probably anywhere between 50 and 60 miles an hour. But as I said before, the problem with 50 and 60 mile an hour winds is because it's been so long in South Florida since we've had a hurricane that a lot of trees have grown up. And for those of us who have utility poles bringing in electricity and not underground lines, that's a problem. This is where the lines get knocked down by the trees. So the possibility of being without power is real. As I said, you've got to be prepared to be without power, and if you want to have a warm meal, whether it's heated up from canned food or etc., you've got to have a barbecue. And if you're in an apartment, well, you're not going to have a barbecue. So you're just going to have eat cold food out of a can. And the other problem is that the problems with the drinking water. Now, you may have drinking water during a storm when the power goes out, but it may not be drinkable. It's only good for showering or taking a bath or washing dishes, because you may have a boil water notice. So you have to have water jugs. Now, I have water jugs left over from other hurricane threats. I bought the water once and I didn't like it because they're so heavy to haul around. So what I did is the hurricane never came, so I drank all the water eventually, and I use it for other purposes, watering plants or whatever, but I kept the empty jugs. Now I have, if you have the storage room, I have about 6, they look like about 2-gallon jugs, empty. That's fine, because now all I have to do is fill them up at home, and I've got my water. So that'll take care of that problem. And then the other problem is going to be, if we lose power, your gas station may not have generators. So you're going to have either no gas available, or the few gas stations that have generators, everybody is going to be lined up at those gas stations. So getting gas is just going to be a problem. So you want to think about that. Of course, we're 5 days away from really being concerned. It's who knows how much you want to do right now. All I know is for myself, come Monday, I'm going to check my inventory of canned goods that I can open up without a can opener and eat a meal out of. And if the hurricane or the tropical storm doesn't come, fine. I've got the stuff. It lasts for a long time in the cans. It's not perishable. So another story is I was talking to a representative from Dish Network. I had a problem with Dish, the Hopper 3, and I couldn't find the answer in the book, so I called up. Anyway, I'm talking to this guy from South Carolina, and this was a couple of days ago. And he was telling me he lives in South Carolina near the beach. I said, "What are you, in a home or apartment?" He said, "Well, I'm in an apartment." I said, I was asking these questions, "Are you on the ground floor or up?" He said, "No, I'm up on the second floor." I says, "Well, that's good. You might not get any flooding up on the second floor. That's a good thing. If you're down on the first floor, that could be a real problem being close to the beach with flooding." And I was telling him, I said, "Look," I said, "I've been through a lot of hurricanes in South Florida. And let me tell you, if you're in an apartment and you don't have any shutters on the windows, you better get out of there." And the truth is, most apartment buildings don't have any shuttering system. So my advice is go find a shelter and get out of the place, because those windows come in, cave in on you, break. You know, one thing, you're going to get cut up with glass. And the other thing is just everything is going to be destroyed inside. You don't want to be there when that happens. And they said, well, I'm going to put tape on the windows. I said, forget tape. All it is just a nasty mess to get off the windows, especially if you're on the second floor. Well, I guess you're going to put tape on the inside of the windows, but it doesn't hold anything. So anyways, that's my update